We're back with the second episode of.
The little podcast from Pasadena.
I like Alyse's USA brooch there. That's pretty cool. We got the flag, of course, because tomorrow is the 250th uh, birthday of our great nation. We're celebrating. Lots of celebrations going on. Of course, we had the big win uh, this week against Bosnia Herzegovina in the World Cup. I know what many of you are probably thinking out there. Why was the Rose Bowl a site this year of one of the World Cup games?
Yeah, why not?
You know,
It
because
actually wasn't what I was thinking because I just don't think about sports. But now that you mention it, yeah, why wasn't it?
yes, and our podcast is about all things Pasadena and cultural and historical and artistic. But yeah, in 1994, I was a newer cop here in Pasadena. Um, we had the World Cup in America at the time, and we had a lot of the games were held uh, at the Rose Bowl. Obviously, SoFi did not exist at the time, and I remember working two of those World Cup games on the field. I even worked this bizarre game where one of the Colombian players got an own goal and then was later assassinated in his country for the loss. Yeah,
Assassinated, like.
yeah, they shot him and killed him because of that loss, of the own goal.
Uh-oh.
I think the USA beat them in that game. But yeah, and speaking of World Cup, I know a lot of you out there are kind of up in arms about Fowler and Balogun's red card. It was a travesty. The way that it was handled, even with the VAR, it shouldn't have happened that way. But again, I was really proud of our boys for stepping up when we were kind of behind the eight ball there in that game versus Bosnia Herzegovina. And our defense really showed what they were made of. And yeah, we pulled off the win. Let's hope we can do it again Monday.
It's all Greek to me. But, go America.
Yes.
Patriotic today.
Yeah.
America hasn't been on its best behavior this year, but I still love it very much.
I think any historian and pro-America level will tell you mistakes have been made, but ultimately we're still a great country. And I think I mentioned in our first episode that I remember the 200th birthday, and here I am now about to witness the 250th installment of our birthday. A lot of people aren't around today to get to see this momentous event. It's less than 24 hours.
Yeah, I know.
To put things in perspective, if our country was the Roman Empire, starting from year zero, it'd be 250 AD right now. What emperor would that be at 250 AD? I don't know. Who knows?
That's like such a small part of Rome,
Yeah,
though, when you think about it. Like, we're a baby.
Yeah. Again, we are one of the youngest countries on Earth with the oldest, longest continuous form of government of any place on Earth. So that's kind of proud to pat ourselves on our back. Oh, I didn't get a little brooch. I should have had some kind of USA. I should have had a vest.
I'm a little shocked that you're not.
I should have had like a suit, like a vest or a blazer with the stars and stripes.
What's going on with you?
I feel like we're like the movie Patton too, with the big flag behind us. I feel like we should give some rousing pep talk speech.
No, I have rants instead.
Yes, Alyse has rants, as we know. She always has opinions. What's the rant? What's the opinion today going to be about? On the eve of the 250th anniversary.
Yeah, so for this very patriotic day, we're going to take down the coalitions.
Oh, yes. So, just to give some backstory here, Pasadena, this is a very, politically aware, socially, culturally aware, savvy community. We have activists and preservationists of every stripe with pet causes that range from, historic preservation of homes, restorers and builders of monuments. And of course, we have your political action groups and committees, Pop Pasadena, ranging from, all levels of the spectrum, the political spectrum. And we have coalitions. Coalitions for all kinds of things. And what seems to be the coalition that's getting a lot of the public and press, good or bad, these days?
Coalition for Complete Streets?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, where we live, up in East Washington Village, this is Pasadena's traditional Armenian neighborhood. If you go anywhere south, like Hill or Allen, from Washington Boulevard, you're gonna eventually run into street construction. It's almost like Sixth Avenue construction in New York City. Like it's never finished ever. In like 50 years, it's always still, steam rising out from construction pylons and things, whatever.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is that we have more and more and more people who keep moving to the city, which is like, a separate topic of its own that we don't need to go into.
Sure.
But the fact is that we have more and more people moving to the city, which means more and more cars on the streets because people overwhelmingly drive cars, not bicycles.
America is a car culture. This is a car culture. We love our cars. We're not going to ride bikes anywhere. We're not walking anywhere. I mean, definitely, there are, certain societal, social class elements that may use walking and bikes more for transportation. But ultimately, we are a car culture. And in Pasadena, because everybody wants to move here, we got a lot of cars. There's a lot of traffic. And we got a lot of coalitions. This main one that Alyse has brought up that wants to transform our motorways and our sidewalks and our corners of sidewalks and our intersections.
Yes. Their whole goal is to have complete streets for bicyclists.
And or pedestrians, maybe.
And or pedestrians. They came up with this study, which is very questionable, and they're arguing that like 60% of Americans would like to be bicycling more for transportation. And I'm really it's contradicting other things that they're saying because
like reality,
because they're also saying at the same time very few Americans are confident in biking, right? Very few Americans are like professional bikers that actually would go use a bike as transportation.
Yeah, I'm not getting on a bike. Look, as far as I'm concerned, bicyclists, mostly, these are shortcuts to your grave, and I'm not getting on one.
Yes.
And this brings up a point because I'm not buying it. Look, the United States, we're not Europe, okay? We don't have these small cobblestone roads, and we're not like, we can afford cars, we can afford gas. We're a surplus culture, and we're not riding bikes. We're not walking everywhere, okay? I like my car. I like to get, behind the wheel of my Audi A6 and hit the open road. And we're not walking, we're not biking. In fact, I remember when they tore up Union. Mm-hmm. To put on this bike lane here in Pasadena Union. This is beautiful. They built they did all this construction for the longest time. Yeah. Really messed all of us up. Union's a really convenient way to get west. It's a one-way street going west in Pasadena. And I remember when they thrashed this whole street up with this construction, and they built this beautiful bike with green, lanes, and they tore Union up. They destroyed it. I mean, it looks like this chaotic mess of painted lines and pylons and odd, lanes.
And here's the thing. Actually seeing a bicyclist in those bike lanes is like spotting a unicorn.
Yeah.
They are never there.
Yeah, I think I saw one all of last year in the bike lane. One guy,
Yeah, like if you
there's no bicyclists in these bike lanes, you guys. They built this bike lane and no one's in them. No one's riding them. We never see bicyclists. Why?
Meanwhile, our streets are getting more and more and more congested. It is like, I remember it was like a completely different Pasadena when I was a kid, getting around town versus today. It's getting more, would you agree? It's more difficult to get around anywhere.
In the old days, when, I left my apartment where I was living in Pasadena, and I wanted to go, to like, Glenarm and Royal Parkway or to get on the 110 freeway, I thought, it's just going to take me, 5 to 10 minutes to, no. It's like if I left my house today, I know it's going to take me 20 minutes minimum just to get down to, through Old Town, with all the traffic that we got going, And they're not making it any easier for Pasadenans to get around in these streets. The stuff that they're doing to the actual corners, and I get the ADA stuff and, for the wheelchairs and whatnot, but they're not making it easier. They're taking away right-hand turn lanes. They're taking away it's terrible.
They're also not even really making it safer for the bicyclists themselves, because I see many times people just getting really upset trying to make their way zipping around bicyclists because they're in the way. Like, you're just creating more hazardous conditions for them. Yeah. And like, the fact of the matter is they're just such a small part of the population, and they're doing it most of the time. It's not for transportation to work, it's just for leisure. So why are our streets being taken away by the vast majority of people who are using their cars for a small population that's using it literally just for fun?
Yeah.
And like, you're never going to convince me that it is safe in Pasadena in Southern California to be riding your
No,
bike
it's not
around
safe.
the streets. Like, it's you're asking for death.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
not. I'm telling you, I don't care what anybody says. In Los Angeles County and in Pasadena, in particular, it is not safe to ride a bicycle or to even walk, to even be a pedestrian. It is generally hazardous to your health in Los Angeles
I'm
County.
sure you've seen like horrors over the
Oh yeah,
years.
oh yeah. I mean, trust me. And even in my career, 30 years as a cop here, we saw more ghost bikes pop up, and pedestrians getting smacked and killed. It's very dangerous in Los Angeles County to ride a bike or be a pedestrian. This is a car culture. We need to defer to our automotive citizens, our automobile driving citizens. Look, we're not saving the environment. Okay, we're not saving anything.
It's not.
Okay, yeah.
The other thing is it makes it harder. All of these like green ways make it so much harder for emergency vehicles to get through to anywhere. Like, there have been instances where people can't get emergency help because the fire trucks or what have you literally can't make it down the street.
It's very difficult for these first responders to get around, especially during rush hour traffic here in Pasadena. We're not making our roadways any easier for motorists, and whatever they're doing down there, on Allen and right now on Hill, from about Union on down all the way to Del. Who knows what they're up to, but it's just really causing a big mess for everybody. And I don't know what we're gonna do about the coalition for whatever.
So
I think Alyse knows.
I want to start a coalition against coalitions, because here's the thing that's concerning me. It's not just that they've already fucked up our streets. They want to continue fucking up our streets. Recently, Orange Grove. If you live in Pasadena, you know that like Orange Grove is one of the main roads that you take. It's highly traveled, and it's also like often congested. They wanted to take that and I think give it a road diet, like make it down to one lane. And they eventually
they have that little quagmire down there, right between where Fair Oaks is on Orange Grove all the way down to about Marengo. They got another whole street construction thing they're doing even on Raymond there.
Right, but they did a study on Orange Grove and they said no, there's just too many cars passing by, and that idea was nixed. So it's done, but they have plans for Maple and Corson. They want to add buffer lanes and protection. Sierra Madre, Boulevard, Villa, and Halstead. They want to consider moving 6 car lanes to 4. So there's the road diet. North Raymond, they want to calm the traffic down to 25 miles per hour. Pasadena Avenue, they want to add protected bike lanes. Woodbury and Oak Grove, they want to add buffer and protection. Marengo, they want to upgrade the bike lanes there. So they are on a mission to give road diets and add protected bike lanes and all these things that are going to make it so difficult to travel anywhere in Pasadena. And so that's why I'm like, we need to have a coalition against this coalition. Turns out, though, there's already one. I think it's Keep Pasadena Moving, and it's like an offshoot of Keep Los Angeles Moving, because they're doing this in like all these other cities in LA.
Okay, good. So
they've been taken down because they've already found that it's not helping anyone. So
good.
They're taking them down.
Hopefully the anti-coalitions are becoming more successful, and we're gonna shut down this needless road messing around with. And look, the only diets I'm in favor of are the culinary type. That's maybe where my political loyalties lie.
We don't need a road diet. Like, we have more people on the roads. Like, we shouldn't be focusing all of our time and energy on making things better for the bicyclists. We should be making it better for the vast majority of people, which are the cars.
Which are motorists.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can you imagine like Route 66 with just all bicyclists? No, it's a car road. It's a car country.
They're unicorns.
Yeah.
They really are.
Let the United States remain a car country or a car culture. Stop messing with our culture.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to ride your bikes, like, power to you, do it. But just know that, like, you're taking your own life into your hands. I mean, do what you want. It's not safe on these streets, and these streets will never be made for bicyclists. They're made for cars.
Absolutely. I'm in agreement with Alyse 100%.
Wow, we agree on something.
Yeah. So that's Alyse's weekly rant at the coalition, and maybe she doesn't need to start a coalition because apparently there's already a coalition. So
I want to start a coalition against coalitions anyway, just because it sounds really fun, Let me know if you want to join me.
We should put that on TikTok. Speaking of TikToks, I think we did a new TikTok today, didn't we?
A really interesting one on Tournament Park.
Yeah, tournament. So one of the things that Alyse and I like to do, the historian Alyse, throughout Pasadena, is we do these, travel, lifestyle, history, arts and culture TikToks about famous historic places in Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to my TikTok channel and see it. It's at the Vicinator. And we like finding those obscure, out of way historic places because Pasadena's full of them.
Mm-hmm.
We're the oldest suburb in Los Angeles County. We have so much history and culture here. And the place that we went to today to do a TikTok is called Tournament Park.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people that are from Pasadena don't even know this park exists or what the significance of Tournament Park is. And for those of you tuning into this podcast who have never heard of Tournament Park, have no idea where it is, if you know where Caltech is, and you know where Pasadena Poly School is, Pasadena Polytechnic School, okay, you know that Wilson bisects the two of them, okay? And on the south end of Caltech's campus, Caltech has a field with a track. They play football there, and they have track events.
It's still Caltech.
It's still Caltech property. If you go down Wilson, and you go between these two schools, and you go just
very easy to miss.
South of the track, and you blink, you're gonna miss this driveway. And you're going south. You see the entrance. You turn left, right into the entrance of Tournament Park. Okay. And Tournament Park obviously is not the same size it was, in the late 1800s and early 1900s when you could land a plane there. That's right.
So why is it called Tournament Park?
Well, it's called Tournament Park because before there was a Rose Bowl stadium, the granddaddy of all college football bowl stadiums here in the Arroyo Seco, they played like the first 9 or 10 Rose Bowl games at Tournament Park.
So it's the original Rose Bowl?
It's the original Rose Bowl. Where Caltech's field is, and that is where they played the first Rose Bowl game.
Rose Bowl.
Yes, 1902 between Michigan Wolverines and the Stanford Cardinal. Michigan has this really a unique relationship with Pasadena. They were in the first Rose Bowl game. They've been here many times. In fact, USC, before they built the Coliseum, USC would play a lot of their home games also at Tournament Park here in Pasadena, but they just didn't have college football games here. Tell us what else they had at Tournament Park.
Okay. So they had chariot races there. They raced ostriches. My speculation is they're getting these ostriches from the Costin Ostrich Farm in South Pasadena.
Absolutely.
The thing that shocked me, they raced a camel and an elephant, and the elephant won the race.
Like, where are they getting these animals? Like an elephant and a camel
But who would have thought that an elephant would win against a camel? Like, for sure, I thought it would be the camel.
I would have put my money on the camel too.
Yeah.
And again,
they had jousting, like the medieval ages.
Like medieval times. So obviously Tournament Park was big enough to have all these things. It was big enough to land a plane. The first transcontinental flight in history.
Yes.
A guy named Cal left New York City and landed at Tournament Park in Pasadena. Yes, it's a historic place. They have a big plaque right there in the little park area that you can visit just to the south east of the football field there.
And it's the start of the Tournament of Roses.
Yes, the first rose parades, the first Tournament of Roses were held there. It was very small, and they had to have just, the floats were very primitive. And this place really took off and gained the attention of the Eastern media in the Eastern United States, and that's really how Pasadena. One of the ways Pasadena got put on the national map through these events that we were having at Tournament Park. Super historic. Again, obviously, the Rose Bowl would transfer over to the Rose Bowl Stadium when they built that in the early 20s, and then obviously the Rose Parade moved to Colorado Boulevard once it got bigger and too big for that area, and they started. It is where it is today down Colorado Boulevard. But yeah, Tournament Park. Again, very few people know about this. Go watch our TikTok if you want to see
it's just so crazy that these like the beginning of the Rose Parade, the beginning of the Rose Bowl, both started right there in that little tournament
area,
park that
Caltech,
no one even really knows
and USC football, and so much college football history is tied into Tournament Park, aviation history.
Yeah.
Absolutely, there's so much stuff going on there. Look, Caltech used to have a football team. The Battling Beavers used to play football there too.
The Battling Beavers.
The Caltech Beavers, that's their mascot. And this is a little known fact.
Is that why they're no longer around?
Who knows? It's probably a lot of reasons why. But on a funny side note is, before I was a cop at Pasadena PD, the Pasadena PD used to have their own football teams. That's actually still kind of common today that larger law enforcement agencies have tackle football teams.
What was your mascot?
And I don't know, who knows what our mascot was, but we used to play. So Pasadena PD used to play Caltech.
Really?
Every year. It was a famous game, and we never won. The Pasadena, as tough as the Pasadena Police football players were, we could never beat those nerds.
You lost to the Caltech nerds?
We lost to Caltech every season.
How did that happen?
I'll tell you, I remember when I was a student.
And why are you still talking about this? This is embarrassing.
When I was a student at Art Center, I did my undergrad at Art Center College of Design here in Pasadena. I used to read in the Star News about the football game between Caltech and the Pasadena Police Department. This is before I would ever knew that I was going to become a member of the Pasadena Police Department someday in the future. And I used to be baffled. How's this football team from Caltech beating the police department? And I'd read stories of how the Caltech, they'd have ringers, they had this one janitor that worked for them that used to be the star back in the day, and Caltech got him to be their running back, and they just had all these ringers, big nerds that knew how to play, and they would put together these teams, and Caltech would beat Pasadena PD every damn year. I don't know if Pasadena PD ever beat Caltech, and we had some big fast dudes. Tough dudes, in those days. I remember I was a cop.
They're like military dudes. How are you not able to take
I was a cop with a lot of these guys, and I would look at them and go, man, how did you guys lose to Caltech every season? But I guess Caltech played. They played some serious football for their size. They were in the Division III. I think they played at the schools like Occidental and stuff like that.
Brains over bronze.
But they no longer have a football program, sadly. But yeah, Caltech played football. Right there at Tournament Park, they're obviously on Caltech's field now. I mean, Caltech, don't get me wrong, they have a full legitimate athletics program. It's a university. They are at Division III school. I think they're with SCIAC, I believe.
I just really wish you could remember what the police's mascot was. Like the Pasadena Police.
Who knows? Batons, badges, who knows what they're... But so that's a little interesting side note for Pasadena history is forget the Rose Bowl, the battle of the Caltech nerds versus the Pasadena PD cops, the Beavers versus the PD. Yeah, interesting. You should look it up. You guys should look it up. Go pull up some old Star News articles about that. And we had a full squad. I saw a photo once with all the Pasadena PD football team, all their pads and their helmets.
I need to look into this now. This might be an episode. I'm not too into sports, but this is.
You might have to go down the rabbit hole on that one. But yeah, you can look that one up. Another little interesting side note, speaking of Caltech and Art Center, is that and I remember this when I was there. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we have a lot of universities in Pasadena. I don't know why they don't call Pasadena a college town, because it technically is a college town. We have Art Center, College of Design, the California Institute of Technology.
We have tons of colleges here.
ACC, a lot of stuff here. That Fuller Theological Seminary. But nearby we have Occidental. So Caltech, back when I was there in the late '80s, Caltech, when I was at Art Center, Caltech, and Occidental, they're sister schools. So and actually all have the same colors too, which is unusual, with black and orange and white. These are the official colors of these schools. But when I was at Art Center, you could take a class at Oxy or Caltech if you want, and vice versa. Like a Caltech guy could go to art center if they wanted to take a class, an art class or something. An Oxy student can come to art center or Caltech and take a class. And I remember I was smart enough not to do that because I would have no doubt not gotten as good a grade at Caltech or Oxy as I was getting over there at art center.
It cracks me up that your mascot was the orange dots.
You know what? Don't mess with the orange dots, okay? We're art center people are very proud to be orange dots. Go dots. And yeah. But yeah, those were interesting times back there in the 80s at art center. But yeah, there are sister schools, you can take classes. I think you still can take classes at each one if you're a student at each one of those three universities.
They should have a dots versus lancers.
the PCC.
Right.
Look, you guys, PCC's always going to win. Art Center would lose to anybody in football or even hacky sack. Let's be real, okay? We're not a.
I mean, you never know. Like, you would have thought that the Pasadena Police would win against
yeah,
the Caltech nerds, and they didn't.
Maybe Art Center would beat the PD. I mean, who knows? But I mean, if you had a painting or a drawing contest, an art contest, Art Center's going to win hands down. But yeah, I need to go back to Art Center and get some gear, some new gear. Orange dots gear, but I'm running short. All right, okay, enough about Art Center, Caltech, and Oxy. I don't know how we got started on. Oh, Tournament Park. That's how we.
This ended up being like a sports episode somehow.
It was kind of sporty, which is very American, by the way.
Even my rant was like sports.
It was sports. If you throw the bicyclists in. Yeah. Look, sports and athletics are a big part of USA culture. Mm-hmm. We are a very athletic culture. Some people say that one of the reasons soccer's never taken off as big as like football and basketball is just because it's so low scoring and Americans love high scoring, athletic contests. But I don't know. Maybe I think if the United States goes far, even to the final, even wins, we might see a kind of a birth of soccer culture in the USA.
Like they don't get high, like in football you get like 47 points all of a sudden for no reason.
Sometimes 70.
Okay, that's why I don't understand football. Like why?
Don't start.
Why 47 or like 31? Like what's with the odd numbers?
Football's the greatest sport ever invented. Go Rams.
Like I can get behind gymnasts. Like Simone Biles. She's magic. She defies physics. Those are the sports I can get behind. And you're like, that's not a sport, Alyse.
Gymnastics is a sport. We're all proud of Simone Biles just as much as we are of, Lisa Liu or...
Yeah, she kicked ass too.
My God. Or anybody.
She was literally floating on the ice.
It's like magic.
Yes.
Look, Americans love a winner. This is my Patton speech. I think Patton said that when he's in front of the flag. Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser. I knew that the Patton speech would come in here with the flag.
Should we end with this?
Yes, we should.
Have a happy 4th of July.
Stay
no
safe
fireworks.
and sane.
No fireworks.
No fireworks. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.